Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it has been 297 days since the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. On October 1st, 2017, 58 people were senselessly murdered at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival in Las Vegas, in my hometown, and more than 500 people were injured. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. I remember going to Sunrise Hospital and seeing 194 victims who had been shot or injured. Since October 1st, I have come to the House floor 58 times to honor each of the victims and to share their stories. For the last 9 months, my colleagues have listened to 58 separate speeches and have looked at the pictures of the 58 victims. And these stories have been met with silence by the majority. Since October 1st, members of the Nevada delegation have asked to at least hold a hearing on bump stocks, the device that contributed to this massive carnage in Las Vegas. And our letters have been met with silence by the majority. Since October 1st, Democrats and a few Republicans have introduced no less than 30 bills to combat gun violence in our country. Yet these bills have been met with silence by the majority. Since October 1st, there have been more mass shootings in the U.S., including at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, and at the Capital Gazette in Annapolis, Maryland. These mass shootings have been met with silence by the majority. At what point are my colleagues in Congress going to stop being silent? At what point are they going to say, we have to do something? We have to take action. The United States is in the middle of a gun epidemic. Every day, 96 Americans, Mr. Speaker, are killed by gun violence. Americans are 25 times more likely to be murdered, 25 times more likely to be murdered with a gun than people in other developed countries. Americans can no longer feel safe in churches, at concerts, at movie theaters, at work, at military bases, at nightclubs, at restaurants, shopping malls, grocery stores, baseball fields, congressional baseball fields. And even worse, our children are no longer safe at school. Since 2009, there have been 288 school shootings in the U.S. Today, little kids are afraid to wear light-up shoes to school because a gunman could see them when they have to hide for their life. From the time of the mass shooting at Sandy Hook to the mass shooting in Parkland, the House of Representatives has held more than 40 moments of silence related to gun violence. However, in that same time, the majority refuses to consider any real piece of legislation, to hold hearings, or take any action that can reduce this gun violence epidemic. And despite bipartisan support in this body to ban bump stocks, implement universal background checks, limit high-capacity magazines, or ban assault weapons, my colleagues say that nothing can be done to prevent gun violence in America. If that's true, why is the United States the only developed country that has this problem? The truth is, we can do something. We can take action. My Republican colleagues can put the lives of American gun lobby first, and the NRA and gun manufacturers. But the American people come first. We have to listen to the American people. We can pass bipartisan and common sense solutions to prevent more shootings and to save more lives. To my fellow Nevadans and Americans, I want you to know that despite these roadblocks, we will keep fighting. Every day there are people here in Congress working tirelessly to make our country safer. Every day we're moved by your rallying cries and your stories. And every day we will fight